Let's go to the deviations and tables. In this sheet you can already see a ready-made table with actual and planned values and the deviations in dollar and percent. Here's the whole thing formatted that negative values are shown with red font color and the positive values in black color. But if you have now several positions, for example up to 30 cities, you will find it difficult to determine the highest deviations. But there's a trick with the formula. And now let's have a look at them in the next worksheet. Here we see exactly the same values with the same deviation values. We will now process the whole thing so that the deviations are shown as bars in the cell area. Just for example, if we change this actual value from New York from 800 to 1300, you see it will change here in the deviation with a bar chart in a green font. So now let's check it out. How can we create this table? In the first step, we have to define the positive and negative values from here. So we will start with a positive value and we are using the following formula. So if the deviation value from cell F9 bigger than 0, then we want to have the value from cell F9. If not, we use the quotation marks for nothing. And you see, we will see here nothing because the deviation is smaller than 0. We will copy it all down. And then here for Chicago and Houston, you see the positive values. In the next step, we do the same for the negative deviations. So if the deviation value on cell F9 smaller than 0, then we will take the value from cell F9, and if it falls, we will use the quotation marks. And you see we have here the deviation of -200 because we have a negative deviation here. And we copy it all down. So, and the next, I'm sorry, it's German here. So the bar sign. So for the next step, we will introduce a bar here, and we go to the tab Insert, and then here to the button at the right sign for symbols. So now you'll see all the symbols which Excel here offer, and we select the font Arial. And then we use the code 2588, and then we have a bar here. We put on the button Insert, and then we have here the different bar for every cell. So let's go to the factor. For the factor we use here an entry sheet, so an entry cell here with the value 0015. And then for the format we use plus diamond dot diamond 0 semicolon diamond dot diamond 0. With this format the negative values are indicated with a minus and the positive values with a plus. So now let's create the formula for the negative deviations. We say if the cell from H9 smaller and bigger nothings, quotation marks, then we use text from cell H9 semicolon. We use the format from the cell K9, so it's here with a plus diamond dot diamond 0. Then ampersand, quotation marks once, space, quotation marks, ampersand, and now we will use the repeat function for ret and we use the cell E9, semicolon, absolutely for an absolutely value from H9, multiplicated with our factor and cell J9, and then the quotation marks. And we should also use a red font here. And then we copy it all down. And now we will create the deviation for the positive values. So it is if, in this case the value from G9, smaller and bigger quotation marks. Now we will start with the repeat function here. So red, use the value from E9, absolutely for absolutely value, and say G9, multiplicated by our factor and J9, and ampersand, quotation mark once, space, quotation mark, ampersand. We write text G9 and our format from the cell K9, semicolon, quotation marks twice, and enter. So, and now we copy it all down and we use a green font from here. So, and if we change the value now, for example from 800 to 1500, we have the deviation here. And with the factor you can change it, you can change the size. Just for example, if you will take 0008, you see the deviations will become smaller.